Hello everyone, Johnny Minder here, and today we are continuing to learn Japanese with Super Mario World, in particular Super Mario Advance 2, the Game Boy Advance version. Last time we continued World 2. We started with our very first ghost house. Then, funny enough, there we found a kanji, a new kanji, so we also studied that. After that, we continued, unlocked the top secret area, as it's called in English. We have seen that in Japanese it's Uramichi. But yeah, then we played actually also another ghost house, and there we found another kanji, but we didn't have the time to study that yet, so we started with that today. After that, we'll have to replay that very ghost house because there's another exit there. And so yeah, without further ado, we can start. And yeah, as mentioned, we start with the kanji, and you can see it here. We have already studied the one for mouth here, actually opening, and then by extension, and then also in our case for these words, opening from which you enter, in this case, entering, opening, literally. We have seen last time we found the kanji for the verb to exit. Yeah, we have the one for to enter here. And yeah, so we can study that. And yeah, as you can see, I've already opened it in Wiktionary. But before seeing the kanji itself, because you might, if you remember when we studied the kanji for person, you might notice a certain similarity. And that's, yeah, because they're actually pretty similar in nowadays. As we see, not originally, but yeah, for that reason it's worth showing again the one for person, even though we studied it before. I think in our Kirby's Adventure series, let me quickly check just to be sure. Okay. And no, actually, in Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, we had seen it in the first Legend of Zelda, but we didn't study it then. So yeah, actually in Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, again, if you want to review them, you can find them. You can find all the kanji we studied in a certain series in their in the description of their playlists. So yeah, if you want to review them, if you have never watched those series before and you're interested, you can find them there. But yeah, I wanted to quickly show it again. Both the shape it has when printed, and yeah, as you can see it here on top, also here, and also quickly the one when written, when hand written, and yeah, you can see it here. And yeah, it's quite important because the kanji we want to study today is, yeah, it's quite similar, but there are differences. So yeah, it's worth mentioning it for that reason. And yeah, we'll actually start with, well, as you can see, there is the difference when written, when typed, and so also written in video games like we have seen. We have that additional part at the top, that horizontal little stroke. And yeah, so actually it's pretty easy to spot usually. The difference is more subtle when written, handwritten. As you can see, yeah, we still have that part at the top, but it's actually because of how it's written more than anything, more than being so prominent. Yeah, otherwise we still start at the top. In particular, this part, not the very top, but it makes sense because, yeah, you start at the top, top to bottom slanted, and then top to bottom slanted. Notice that the first one goes to the left, the other one goes to the right, and yeah, so that's why, yeah, that there is the usual from left to right. In this case, not the strokes themselves, but the kanji as a whole. And yeah, that's why we start here in the center, you could say, because yeah, we have to write this stroke first and then the other one. Yeah, top to bottom slanted to the left, top to bottom slanted to the right. And yeah, so somewhat more subtle, even though you can distinguish it when handwritten. But funny enough, when it comes to its origin, let me quickly show that. Okay. And yeah, funny enough, the historical form for this one was simply arrowhead. As you can see, as also mentions there, yeah, straight up, an arrow pointing up. And yeah, you can see then the evolution. And yeah, so actually, it's the one for person that then became more similar to this. And yeah, then we have the differences. But yeah, this one straight up was an arrowhead. An arrow, we could say. And so yeah, the meaning, and so the meaning is to enter. And yeah, now we can actually check out its readings. First and foremost, since those are actually the ones we have seen more before, we have the several strictly Japanese readings, kunyomi. First and foremost, technically, iru, which means to enter. If I check that out that way, we won't find it. Yeah, as you can see, saw there for a moment. Actually, it isn't the first reading found for the kanji, because actually it's usually not used nowadays on its own. It's found in certain expressions, in certain, yeah, as it says there also, in fixed expressions and literary language. But yeah, the meaning is still, this is the original verb for enter, to go in, to get in, to come in. Other extended meanings, but all, of course, related to the going in. For example, you can see the to set of the sun or moon, to sink, to go down, figuratively entering, and so on. by the way, unaccented on its own. But yeah, we've actually seen it in some expressions, and also in this very term where we found it on the writing here in Super Mario World, because yeah, it's the term iriguchi. We've explained it also last time. I think we actually found it also in the previous series. Unaccented, by the way. Yeah, it means entrance, as mentioned, yeah, because of entering iru, which is a verb, Godan verb, so, despite being in iru. So yeah, be careful, it's one of those in iru and airu that aren't ru verbs, ichidan verbs, like most of those are. Yeah, are u verb, Godan verb, so you can change the u into i. U into i to make the continuative form. In this case, to hello, Charlie7, nice to see you here. And yeah, we're explaining the kanji we found last time, but yeah, after that we'll start playing. Yeah, then it will definitely be Mario time. Yeah, just to show again that the term we found is a compound that uses the reading from the verb iru in its original form. And yeah, change the u into i to make the continuative form, the corresponding noun entering, and then here actually also for the compound. And yeah, again, kuchi becomes kuchi with the voicing because it's the second part of a compound. Literally from mouth, but then it becomes by extension opening, and so yeah, entering, opening, entrance. Then we have the verb ireru, should be also an accented, and it is. We have seen actually before, but yeah, wanted to be sure completely. This is the transitive form of the verb. And so yeah, instead of going in and so on, we have to put in, to let in, to take in, to bring in, and so on, to insert. Notice again the intransitive one in u, the transitive one in eru. So yeah, another one of those. And then we have the arguably even more important reading for this kanji nowadays, which is hairu. Accented, this one on the ha. And yeah, it's the verb nowadays, the one used with the meaning to enter, to come in, to go in, to get in, and so on. Most likely, originally a compound. I think I mentioned it before. My guess would be from how, which nowadays means to crawl, to creep, to go on all fours, to slither, to wriggle also, and so on. But yeah, as you can see, still a verb of movement in general. But I guess this one, because yeah, then if you change, it's a verb, column verb, so changing the u into i, you get ha-i, continuative form, to which you would attach iru. And so ha-i, iru. And yeah, wouldn't be surprising if one of the i dropped, because yeah, you had two, but it got contracted and only one remained. And so yeah, that would explain why you'd get ha-iru. There might be other explanations, but honestly, that's what makes the most sense to me. Ha on its own wouldn't make particularly sense. Just to show it quickly, an example of words with ha, well, apart from the topic particle, ha written as wa. We have one for tooth, teeth, the other one for leaf, blade, edge of a knife or sword, blade, and so on. But yeah, makes more sense, honestly, to me, to use that other verb. Again, I could be wrong, but and honestly, I haven't seen many explanations of this. But yeah, again, iru originally was the verb to enter, but yeah, then hairu started to get used, and is the one actually nowadays used in Japanese most of the time, apart from certain compounds, certain expressions. Yeah, so that would be my guess. Yeah, so we have other technically other. And by the way, I've just seen here that the historical form of hairu would be ha-hi-ru. The he in the middle would be read as i. Original would be papiru. But yeah, then the consonant fell or changed into, well, technically changed into W, W, but nowadays would only remain for a, wa, we, who wouldn't keep it, we, wo, but yeah, the only one used nowadays is wa, and so yeah, only in those. We have seen it when we have seen the conjugation of words, of verbs that originally were, that nowadays are in u, but originally were in hu, and so actually pu. But yeah, I think that the historical form is ha, hi, ru. Yeah, again, even more likely that it comes from ha, u, so ha, fu, papu. But yeah. Iru for the compounds, even more important, hairu to enter, ireru to insert, but yeah, to go in or to put in, and so on. As for the Chinese reading, the one actually used nowadays, usually, is only one, and it's new. And yeah, honestly, there isn't much more to say about that. So yeah, we can actually now go back to here. Yeah, you can see again the term iriguchi on screen. But yeah, with that, we can actually start playing the game itself. Okay. Yeah.
Here we go! Super Mario!
And yeah, as you can see, we're still in World 2, as mentioned. We have played 16 levels so far. We had quite the jump, considering that World 1 had 6 levels. Pretty sure it's 6 of them. So yeah, we actually played a lot of the ones in World 2 and in general. Yeah, while we are technically on the pipe because of that's where the exit here led us. We want to play first and foremost again this level, the Donuts Plains hidden mansion. As we have seen in Japanese, the term is yashiki. Yashiki means residence and so on. Mansion, my preferred term, especially in this case, considering that yeah, these are the also considered Luigi's Mansion, but yeah. But funny enough, as we see again, I think when we start this one, we'll see that there's also the English, an English term for it in game, even in the Japanese version. And yeah, without further ado, let's actually start it. And yeah, ghost house, as you can see there. But yeah. Should be technically ghost. Well, in this case, hidden, because yeah, it's a hidden level. We've seen also Obake Yashiki, and that one was a ghost mansion, ghost house. Then on the writing. Okay, yeah. Here I have to position it and then make the jump. Easier when with Luigi. Okay, wait, I want to get a power up. Actually, no, I didn't want to get the power up immediately. Oops. Yeah, it's actually, I wanted to show this, yeah, reminder again. Yeah, you want to, if you want to keep both, you want to first upgrade the current one on, if you are Super Mario or Luigi in our case. You want to first use the one in the inventory, and then the other one. Actually, I think I might know where to, how to access the secret exit. And yeah, funny enough, this was the writing we've seen, and that while we studied the Kanji for to enter today. Okay, I want to see though first where this door takes us. Okay, now this one straight up takes you here, so actually let's not waste time in this case. We use these. Yeah, there we have already entered. I want to enter this one first. Okay, now we have the coins here. Not that we particularly needed them, I think. I want to hit, of course, that block here. And get this new writing. And yeah, this one, again, another 1 point advice. Again, the title of these, which are the tips of this game. But actually, despite not having found this one in particular, it's actually a repeat one, because yeah, it says, I'll still read it again and translate it at least. Broku o tataku to dobite ku coin wa control coin. The icon botan de sosa dekimasu. And yeah, you might remember that this is the one about the, and you might have also heard it while I was reading it, the one about control coins. Unsurprising, since we have them here. And you might have actually come here first, so that's why we got it also here, is my guess. But yeah, it simply says, as for the coins that extend when, if, again, the conditional or temporal usage of that conjunction, hit the block, are implied control coins. And yeah, you can control, as you have seen, it's the verb that also means manipulate, both in its original meaning, and so I'm forgetting the term we have seen exactly in the dictionary. Yeah, again, can also, even though it wasn't in the dictionary, control can also be used, especially in this context. or also manipulate literally in the usage nowadays used in English. But yeah, it can be controlled with the then we have the icon, of course, the D-pad button. Yeah, we have seen this before. So yeah, actually it should be in the previous episode. I think it was in the other ghost house. But yeah, we can't make a particular usage of those. I wonder, okay, yeah. Thought that this could lead us here. Not that we particularly need it. Actually, do that again. Let's get both power-ups. Okay, please wait there. Okay, now we can make the jump. We have all these coins. Yeah, my guess is that we actually want to go... if I recall correctly, or it's at least... yeah, so I guess there was a plan there. I wanted to quickly check out where you go from this X. Okay, it simply brings you back here. Okay. Oh yeah. I did remember correctly, and yeah, you hit this. Would be normally a block, but of course, it looks like that because yeah, it was the P switch was still active. But yeah, you get that. Okay, you actually have this. Okay, no, so you actually have to be quick about it. Yeah, much faster I have to be. Yeah, actually it isn't the exit then. Ah, okay, there's another one. Okay, now it makes sense. We have 4 dragon coins, so unless there's one after... Okay, no, this is the door I didn't want at all, but unfortunately the other ones weren't available, so yeah, we'll have to take this one. Yeah, you can see here how confusing ghost houses can be in Mario games, and particularly this one. But yeah, they got introduced here, but yeah, honestly, in general in Mario games. But yeah, we want to go up and take that other door that shows up when you press the P switch. Yeah, let's actually take it with us here, press it closer. Yeah, let's do it like this. Yeah, not that entrance, not that door. And yeah, by doing that we actually get this. And yeah, the boss. And yeah, luckily this time you might recognize it if you remember from I've watched our Super Mario Advance 4 series. Because yeah, it's not present. Booze, yeah, it's not present. Ghost houses aren't present in Super Mario Bros. 3, but yeah, in that version with the reader levels, there was one, and it had the big boo at the end. And yeah, there it was tougher because you couldn't throw blocks up. Yeah, by doing that, we can here we have the pop-up to save. We'll save and continue. And yeah, so we actually have this. Honestly, at this point, I'd say we can. Well, let's go in order anyway. First, let's take the pipe, which was the easier exit. And yeah, funny enough, as you might guess from the castle and the 7 there, and also the big castle with Koopa. So yeah, as a reminder, Koopa is actually Koopa, to be precise in Japanese, is the Bowser's name. Yeah, funny enough, despite having a preview of World 7 and actually the Bowser's Castle, here we have this level. I actually switched to Mario before forgetting. Called DonutsへいやHimitsu no Kosu ni. And yeah, again, so we have first and foremost Donutsへいや, so yeah, the Donut Plains, we've seen so much. Just as a reminder, since it's the first time for this episode, we have Donatsu, again from Donuts, English, most likely the plural, as that would explain the su at the end. Unless, again, it's simply because they didn't care or it wasn't pronounced su, but simply tu at the time. I doubt it in this case. More likely the plural, accented just like in English, so the do. Then we have heya, a Chinese compound, luckily unaccented, on its own, plain, even better open field, since it's two terms, as we've seen. Two terms, yeah, Chinese compound, so in the sense of two kanji. Most likely, when combined, the pronunciation, my guess is on the accent on the he. So on the first syllable of the second part of the compound, or you could consider it as a suffix on the first syllable of the suffix. Can't confirm it, unfortunately. Okay, that's my guess. So Donatsu heya. And then, yeah, we have again Himitsu. We've seen it before, and yeah, you can see also because of the two, but you might remember it. We have already seen a level called like this, except that it was one. Himitsu means a secret, secrecy, confidentiality, privacy. By extension, also mystery. Technically, a noun can also be an adjective or a noun that takes the possessive particle no to make. In practice, an adjective, like in our case here. By the way, Himitsu unaccented, again a Chinese compound, so unsurprisingly. And then course, of course, course in English, of course, in the sense that a level accented just like in English, so the ko. And then again, the number most likely pronounced with its most common reading when on its own, so the Chinese one, ni. And yeah, so we have the Donut Plains Secret Course 2, despite not being in Donut Plains anymore. We are in this other world. Yeah, it's still part of Donut Plains. Yeah, so we can actually take this level. And yeah, we have this icy level. And we actually start with this this 1 point advice. Funny enough, again the one we've already seen, the one for the control coins. So yeah, we've already even read it and translated it at the very least today, and we can actually use them here. Not sure if it that you were supposed to use them for anything. Doesn't look like it particularly. Yeah, I actually have to dismount Yoshi at least to get up here. Okay. Yeah, I got a star, but I wanted to. Yeah, technically useful, especially against these enemies here. As they can't be defeated, at least I don't think so. We might try with Yoshi, but I have doubts. But not like that, of course. Okay, no, Yoshi can also defeat them, but otherwise, yeah, fireballs don't work. They should be called spike tops, I think. Not sure if also in this game, but in general, in English, yeah, they're clearly related to Buzzy Beetles. So yeah, fire doesn't work on them. Too bad that. Okay, yeah, let's take it this time. Let's take this pipe here. Okay, we have these. What's unfortunate is that we leave Yoshi there by doing this. Honestly, let's avoid doing that. Let's see what it looks like down here. Of course, more difficult, but you can actually do it. Yeah, you missed on the coins. Didn't seem that there were any dragon coins. Yeah, actually, I found one here. So yeah, funny enough, for now we actually found most, if not all, the dragon coins in levels. But yeah, still, we won't go for them. We'll try to get as many, but yeah, we won't strictly go for all of them. Playing all the levels is what matters the most, also considering the Japanese. Yeah, by doing that, we actually get to this pipe here, and so here, and so yeah. Funny enough, we were right under Donut Plains, and so that world is right down here. As you might know if you have already played this game, but also you might have noticed a certain something on the general map here. But yeah. So yeah, actually you get another way to get here. Before doing that, though, at this point, considering that, well, I think we'll keep this for after the world. Even though, again, as you might see, it's still Donuts Hey Ya, so yeah, I don't play something. Oh yeah, for now we'll actually follow the map for, and so yeah, funny enough, it was perfect because we came out from here and arrived here. And yeah, so we're finally back to the level unlocked with the regular exit of the other ghost house level, which is called Donuts Hey Ya Kosu San. I guess so simply again. Donuts Plains course, and then the 3 pronounced with this Chinese reading San, most likely. And yeah, so the 3rd Donut Plains course, regular course. And yeah, we'll actually play this then.
Let's go.
Hopefully, okay, this is might regret this. Okay. Another 1-point advice. This one I'm pretty sure we haven't seen before. It says Eru botan o osuto game no muita hoko ni zurasemasu. And then it actually stops there, despite being moved the other part immediately after. Yeah, we have a period, as you can see with the circle. They look like that in Japanese instead of dots. Yeah, it stops there. I guess the other part got moved. It's attached because it didn't stay at the bottom either way. But yeah, first and foremost we have L. in Japanese simply pronounced as eru. Again, we have the additional u at the end because the consonant can stay on its own, and then Japanese r instead of l because English l is technically can also be a variant of the Japanese r, but not the most common one. Most common one is tap tap l l rari lu re do. But yeah, regardless, the closest consonant in Japanese for that, yeah, of course, should be accented, just like in English, and it is. So yeah, on the eru, high-low. Then we have the usual botan, unaccented, as we have seen from button. Not exactly the term in English because and that's why it's slightly different. It's actually from Portuguese botão, and that's why it's like that, botan, and also unaccented. Then we have the object particle o, written as one, pronounced as such, a careful speech and also singing. Then we have the verb osu, the typical verb with botan, because it means to press, to push, I should say, because it's both to push as in to thrust, and also to push a button, and so typical verb for buttons, and so actually we have seen it a lot in video games for obvious reasons. Osu should be unaccented, when then after it, it's the dictionary form of the verb, and so the one used for the present, and also the present used for the future, in plain speech. So by keeping the verb in its dictionary form, we can add then to, like here, to make again the one we've seen. One of those conditionals can also be used in temporal usage if, when, similar to English. This one, the closest one to the zero condition, so if the verb of the with the to happens, then inevitably the rest of the sentence happens. In this case, if when you press the L button, something inevitably happens. That something is, first and foremost, we have the term gamen. We have seen it actually before, maybe also in this series, I'm forgetting. It's a Chinese compound, but one accent on the first syllable, so the second most common accent for those. And it means screen. Actually, technically the fundamental meaning is picture. And so also by extension, screen of a TV, computer, an image on such a screen. That's because the original meaning, clearly also seeing the kanji used, it's surface of a painting, of a picture, drawing, and so on. So you can see why then it became the term for screen, and also the image on such a screen. Then we have the object particle o, again. Then we have the verb muita. We have seen it before. It comes from muku. It means actually unaccented, so muku. To turn toward, to look up, down, and so on. And actually that's technically we'll see in a second, because technically it seems like that, but it's in a particular sense in this case, let's say. But we'll see in a second. Also, to face, for example, east of a building, window, and so on. But yeah, to look in a direction, to face in a direction. It's a verb, godan verb, so to make that a form, like in this case, we have to follow the rules. It's in Q, so it becomes ita. Again, first we would make the continuative form, we change the U into I, muki, and then at ta, but then most likely the K fell, and so only the I remained, muita. Ta form, so past form of the verb in plain speech. In this case, it's followed by a noun. So yeah, actually, again, a relative clause, as usual. Noun, which is ho, ko. It's a Chinese compound, which means direction. Funny enough, yeah, it makes sense. The ko, as we see when we see these terms in Kanji, and also study the Kanji, is the same one used for the verb muku. So yeah, you can see why, because yeah, while the ho is the one for kata, which we have seen direction, way, and also by extension person. But yeah, ho, ko should be unaccented, and it is, yeah, again, it's a Chinese compound. Then we have the particle ni. I'd say to, in this case, we see required by the verb, most likely. To, as in more like towards, even though usually for the to, as in towards, we would use the particle e written as he, as that's more the direction. Ni usually is more the destination. Yeah, that usually actually with verbs of movement. This one I think is slightly different because yeah, we have zurasemas. Should be from actually from zurasu, and it is. Actually, I haven't seen it much before, to be completely honest. I have, but I could easily guess its meaning here from the context. But yeah, this means to shift, technically also to move. Be careful though, as there's another verb way more common for to move. That's why also I haven't seen this as much. But actually, I have seen it now that I think about it more in the following movement, I think. In the following, the extended meaning of the can see in the dictionary. But yeah, to shift, to move, to slide. But yeah, by extension, also to move, an appointment, meeting, and so on, to bring forward, and so on, to postpone. Yeah, so technically to move better would be to shift, I'd say, to keep it distinguished from that other verb, which we'll see. But yeah, zurasu. Can find its accent here. I'll quickly check in the physical dictionary. Okay, got the physical dictionary. Let's see if I can find the accent here. We've seen that usually we don't find the accents even in this one, but sometimes some could be found. And honestly, this is a word that would make more sense than other ones to find. And yeah, actually I found it here, so yeah, worth checking it for this reason. It's accented, Zurasu, so yeah, actually, as I guessed. And yeah, actually, for example, the example given in the physical dictionary says Tsukue. Tsukue means the desk, then the object particle, and then the symbol that looks like a tilde used in Japanese, well, in this case, simply as a replacement for the verb, for the term, which is the entry in the dictionary. Do not repeat it, of course. But yeah, so move, shift, better shift the desk. Yeah, so it makes sense. By the way, Tsukue unaccented, but we'll see that when the time comes. Zurasu, as mentioned, well, it's a U verb colon verb, so we can actually change the U into E, and then the Ru, here can be seen because of further conjugation, to make the potential form of the verb. And then, yeah, the potential form is a Ru verb, it's a verb, so we can drop the Ru to make the continuative form of the verb. In this case, simply to add the auxiliary verb mas, and so yeah, make the polite form of the verb. So, the translation becomes, if you press, when you press the L button, you can shift towards to the direction that faces literally the screen. We see exactly how it works in a second. Yeah, it's a way to actually move the screen, as we see. Yeah, actually it explains better in the second part, because it says Chotto dake saki no hou o mitari dekimasu. And yeah, first and foremost we have Chotto. We've seen it before. Not sure if in this series it's an adverb. Actually, well, don't mind the not technically it uses two kanji, but it's simply actually a strictly Japanese reading assigned to those to that Chinese compound. So don't mind that. And honestly, also usually nowadays it's not it's used it's written using kana alone anyway. Notice that there's that to at the end, most likely the quotation particle, and yeah, with a cho, the small su doubles then the consonant of the to, but also would be a shorten if we didn't have, when we don't have a following consonant, it actually simply is a shortening of the previous vowel, so with a cho. Or more like an abrupt interruption, I should say. So with a cho, literally. And yeah, with that sound, it's not surprising that the meaning of chotto is a little, a bit, slightly, by extension also briefly, and so on. But yeah. By the way, most of these, there are some exceptions, are accented before the to itself, the syllable before the to itself in particular, because yeah, the accent can stay on the small su, and so yeah, it's on the cho, chotto. and so high, low, low. Then we have the particle dake, which means only, just, merely, simply, no more than, nothing but, alone. Yeah, fundamental meaning only, just. It's worth mentioning that it also has the meaning as much as, to the extent of, enough to, most likely from extension from that just, and yeah, from the meaning also no more than, and so actually in the no more than, then it becomes also as much as to the extent of enough to. But yeah, here in its most common meaning, which is simply only, also simply, only, just, simply. So yeah, just a little. Then we have saki. Should be unaccented. I think, to remember. We have actually seen it before as unaccented. Technically, the fundamental meaning would be point, tip, end. But yeah, more often than not, by extension it becomes head of line, front, and even more so first, before, or ahead of, the way ahead, beyond. So yeah, technically, and most likely considering it's a more concrete meaning, the fundamental one would be point, as in tip. But yeah, more often than not used for ahead, both as in ahead of, so before, or the way ahead, so beyond, and so on. Also used for future, because of that. Then we have the possessive particle no. Then we have ho. Yeah, it's actually the one we have seen above in ho ko. Here used on its own, it's even though it's the Chinese reading. Yeah, it still means direction, way, side, area, in a particular direction, side of an argument also by extension, several other extended meanings, again, way also in the sense of method, manner. In a previous series, I think it was for sure in Pokemon Snap, maybe others, we have seen that it can also be used to indicate one side of a comparison, but we see that again when it shows up. Yeah, here simply in direction, way, its usual meaning. Then we have the object particle o. Then we have mitari, from the verb miru, to see, to look at, to watch, accented. It's a verb, incident verb. So we can drop the ru to add the ta to make the ta form. Not used on its own in this case because then we had ri. And yeah, so we get this tari. We have seen it. I think in this very series, maybe also previous ones. It has the meanings ing and ing. Usually in that sense for two opposite verbs. For example, coming and going. More often than not, also simply doing such things as, and yeah, like in our case, yeah, technically it would be do. So actually, an exhaustive, usually used for an exhaustive list of actions. But yeah, even literally just in the meaning, doing such things as. the tari is used actually with the verb suru. Again, makes sense because actually this tari, notice the e at the end, and yeah, it's actually an older form of it's a continuative form. So yeah, it would so technically it would be a noun. So yeah, the ing seen also in the translation. But yeah, to keep it simple, yeah, well, as we have seen before, it requires the verb suru, which we have here, not in its not as suru, to do, but actually we have the kimasu from the kiru, which means to be able to do. And yes, so since we already have this verb with the meaning to be able to do, instead of making the potential form of suru by conjugating, we straight up replace it with the kiru. The kiru is a verb incident verb, so we can drop the ru to make the continuative form, and then, yeah, in this case, simply to add mas and make the polite form. So yeah, the translation of this part is just you can do such things as looking in the direction ahead, just a little. And yeah, so with that we have actually seen this. And yeah, by pressing that, as you have seen, the screen slightly moved, and we got that. And yeah, the screen shifts, as you can see. Yeah, actually, I think the multa then was actually yeah, by the way, notice that Yoshi actually has wings here because I actually got because I was holding in Yoshi's mouth that blue shell, and yeah, that's depending on the color of the shell, you get different effects. You can actually get it again here. Oops, I want to do that, so let's actually do it. Yeah, so we have a flying Yoshi here. This time we stay though. Okay, no, it's actually not lose Yoshi. Yeah, actually, this would be how you'd get here if you didn't have Yoshi. Okay, bye Yoshi. Honestly, as much as it saddens me, okay, no, this, let's be careful though. Yeah, technically I could avoid rewinding here, but honestly, let's not, okay, here. Okay, we have another one. It's a different one. It's still about the L button, as you can see also with the L. Even if you don't know Kana yet. But yeah, this one still continues, has more to say about that. First and foremost, it says L botan o oshinagara ueki o ireru to kame no ue ni zurasemasu. And yeah, first and foremost, we have again L botan, so yeah, the L button. And we have the object particle o oshinagara from osu again to press the L button. In this case, it's a U verb golden verb, so we can change the U into I to make the continuative form. In this case, to add nagara, conjunction, let's say in this case, so considered a particle technically, a conjunction better, consider that its meaning is while, both as during, as, and that's the most common one. also while as in although, though, but that's less common. Yeah, more often than not it's simply while as in during. Yeah, in our case while pressing the L button. I wanted to quickly check. I think I've checked it before, but I wanted to be sure again. Because the accent of Nagara changes depending on the previous verb, if it's accented or not. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, technically it has an accent on the na itself, so the word itself, Nagara, so high, low, low. But yeah, even here without looking at the rest, I can see with the examples given that yeah, with an unaccented verb, it will stay all unaccented. So yeah, like in our case, Oshinagara. If the verb is accented, then actually the accent stays on the na. I can quickly check also the note there, because it tells which one to check. Okay, yeah, and it's this one. And yeah, accented with accented verbs. And I can see other examples there. Well, yeah, with unaccented ones, it should be still unaccented, and it is. Okay, so we have checked that out again. But yeah, while pressing the L button, then we have we have seen it before. We've even studied its kanji. It means up, top, above, unaccented. In this case, actually, we have then key. So yeah, key from English. So yeah, the up key, yeah, as in the up button of the D-pad, technically, because yeah, you would have a D-pad on Game Boy Advance. Then we have the object particle O. Ireru, funny enough, which we have studied its kanji today. Interesting that technically it's not used here. It's worth mentioning that it might be also maybe even just to keep it simpler. There are technically other ones that you could use, but yeah, again, it simply means in this case to put in, to insert. So yeah, literally insert the up key. Yeah, it's another way to simply press press up. And yeah, after that we have again, it's the dictionary form of the verb. We have to again, so yeah, conditional or temporal. And yeah, when you if or when you do that, inevitably. And yeah, after that we have gamen again, so the screen in our case. Then we have the object particle O. Again, we have we, so up, above. Ni, so yeah, to the top, we could say in this case. And yeah, then again, surasema, so yeah, the full translation is if you input, we could say, to keep it similar to the Japanese technically, if you input the up key while pressing the L button, you can shift the screen up. Yeah, so pretty simple. Then the rest says Shitaki o ireru to shita ni zurasemasu. So yeah, you might have already seen shorter but quite similar. The only difference being that we have shita. Notice the E barely heard if at all because it's between the voice consonants. But actually we have already seen also this term and studied this kanji. It means well, there is actually more than one technically, but usually two. There's another shita, which is the one for tongue, but we've also studied its kanji. Of course, doesn't make sense here. That one is accent on the syllable. This one is an accented and it means the opposite of ue. So yeah, down, below, under, bottom, and so on. But yeah, the down key, so we have key after it, of course. Then we have the object particle, ireru again as the verb to, so the conditional or temporal. Then we have shita again ni zurasemasu. So yeah, if you press the if you again, if you want to keep it technically closer, if you input the down key, if you insert literally the down key, yeah, simply you press down. Implied, yeah, again, implied both the while pressing the L button and also that the screen, you can move the screen down. So pretty easy actually. Okay, let's continue. Not like that at all. Actually keep it. Oh yeah, no, actually not having a feather here is not the best. I wonder if I missed somewhere. Okay, no. I wanted to try to hit it that way, but yeah, not ideal. I'm losing maybe too much time here. Okay, let's do it. Okay, like that. We want to go up there. Oh yeah. Actually do it properly. Okay, let's actually we take it also as a chance to we restart here and so have slightly more time. We might be fine either way, but yeah, didn't want to restart the level. So yeah, that's why I'm rewinding here, especially because yeah, here's the midway gate. So yeah, we would have lost all our progress. Not the best. Okay, there was that below, but I feel that I want to stay up here. Yeah, I was correct. Can enter this pipe. Yeah, so actually we have. Let's not lose. Completely missed these. We don't have much time. Okay. Okay. No, I want... not just because we missed it, but I was curious. Yeah, okay. And we got this one. Yeah, you have to be careful, even more so as Luigi. On. Yeah, because of the slippery shoes. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, with this. Okay, we missed, unfortunately, a coin somewhere. Oh yeah, with that, we have actually finished this level. Yeah, we have another course here. at this point, clearly I don't have the time for... we'll just continue. Too bad that I missed my usual break. But yeah, we continue. Here we have Donuts Hey Ya, course Yon. Yeah, the usual Donuts Hey Ya, Donut Plains, course. And yeah, then the 4 most likely read as Yon. So, actually the strictly Japanese reading, again, because the Chinese one would be Shi, sometimes still used, but more often than not in compounds, because yeah, it's avoided in certain compounds because they prefer avoiding it, also considering that it has the same pronunciation, same Chinese pronunciation as the verb to die. So yeah, you can see why. So yeah, yon usually used instead. I guess so. Simply Donuts Plains course 4. And yeah, so we can start it. Okay. Oops. By the way, I actually made a mistake. I wanted to switch to Mario. Okay, now we can actually start it. Oh boy, yeah. That's... and by the way, notice that, yeah, Mario said that's what I needed. Yeah, those. That's one of the additions of this game. And honestly, the Super Mario Advance series in general, yeah, you have those. Don't think I can enter any of these, but I want to quickly check. Okay, no, actually this one. I was wondering because of this pipe, that pipe there. It looks like the one we left, but no, we are actually on another screen, as you could tell, because we couldn't go back there. Okay, not sure what the point of it was, though. Okay, we have this enemy. Yeah, you can technically jump on them, but it's not recommended because you can get hurt pretty easily. What you want to do is to hit them from below. Too bad that I missed their the shell disappeared, despawned. Let's get rid of the Goomba. Notice the difference that instead of defeating them like you do for regular Goombas. Okay, we can enter also this one. Okay, this one might have something more interesting. Yeah, a Dragon Coin, for example. Technically, I could have jumped on all of them, maybe to get a 1-up. Yeah, now you you got to see how to actually defeat those flying hammer bros. And then I'm introduced in this very game, I'm pretty sure. As I was mentioning, the Goombas look different. Well, we also have Paragoombas, notice. Yeah, these are rounder. Don't get defeated unless you jump them on Yoshi, as you can see here. Yeah, not actually what I really needed, but I'll take the mushroom. Oh yeah, there are different kind of Goomba specific to this game, introduced in this game. Also parachuted there. Let's hit this. Let's take our time. Like to not lose a Yoshi, possible though. Thank you. Okay, yeah. As you can see by the arrow, we are right at the end of the stage, so yeah. Honestly, yeah, let's not waste time. Didn't make the jump there. Let's do it like this just to get at least some stars. To get closer to another bonus game. And yeah, with that we got to the castle. I'd say we can wonder if we'll be able to tackle the castle, and also that we'll give it a try. Oh yeah, it's called simply the stage Doonatsu he ya no shiro. Yeah, simply again donut plains, the possessive particle no, and then shiro. As you have seen in this very series, because of the previous one, yeah, it means a castle, unaccented. Not to be confused with shiro, accented on the first syllable, and that means white, but yeah, you can tell from the context also, other than the accent when pronounced. But yeah, so we'll tackle the castle. Wonder if we'll have enough time also to read the story after. If not, I'll consider doing that at the start of the next episode. Might play an additional level instead, but we'll see. Yeah, as you have seen, the theme of this castle is swamps. And actually makes sense also considering a certain something we'll see soon enough. Also have a dry bones there. We also have these shifting parts of the level, pretty cool. Even more so back in the day, but honestly, it's still a really nice effect. You have to be careful there not to get crashed, and yeah, you can get crashed, I'm pretty sure. Don't remember if instantly or you progressively lose the power-ups, but yeah, honestly, in the end it doesn't change the result. I think you die anyway. Okay, yeah, we have that up there. I'm not sure how we are supposed... Okay, no, you can technically fly, but you don't have much space to do so. Okay, yeah, you can defeat the dry bones by making the jump there. So, sorry, by using the cable, I wanted to say. Okay, one, nope. I have doubts. I wonder how you can then actually do it. I don't remember. I'm not sure if I've ever done it. But honestly, again, we don't particularly need... we don't need the dragon coins, so oh well. At the very least, we know where it is. We have those. Yeah, actually spikes. I think... no, actually these we can't hit. So yeah, it's there simply to avoid getting hurt more than anything. And yeah, of course we have the green blocks, since we pressed the green switch in this very level. Okay, this time there wasn't any introduction, so yeah, this is Morton. Looks different compared to usual. Oh yeah, it makes sense that the swamps were the in this level, because yeah, Morton's whole business is dropping like a swamp. I think you get also stunned if you stand on the ground when he lands. They didn't stay there, of course. Okay, with that, we might actually have time to check the story then, here. You can see the cutscene, yeah. Luigi is destroying the castle like that. And funny enough, again, well, take the screenshot. As much as we actually can stay on this screen, as we have seen last time, guys, you can see here, without pressing the button, you can actually stay here. We can actually stay in game. And hopefully we will be able in the remaining time to check this out at the very least. Even though it's pretty long, as you can see. But yeah. Here, the story after the castle says Mario tachi wa Nibanme no kokuppa mo yatsukete Doonatsuへいやから地下の世界のバニラドームへと進んでいく. And yeah, first and foremost, we have Mario Tachi. And yeah, funny enough, again, we have Mario with the Tachi, the pluralizing suffix. If I recall correctly, we have seen it before, that the accent of words with Tachi should be right before the Tachi itself. I'll check quickly. I think we have seen it in the physical dictionary, by the way. So yeah, perfect that I already have it here. I wanted to check it again. Tachi. Okay, not there. Okay, here. Perfect. Yeah, with Tachi. Yeah, the example, Kodomo Tachi. Kodomo on its own should be unaccented. We have seen that one before, I think. But yeah, with the Tachi, the accent stays on the final mora of final syllable, technically, of the word before Tachi. So on the mo. Kodomo, child, children. Kodomo tachi, by the way, specifically children. Again, words in Japanese usually can have either a singular, or plural meaning without specifying it. But you can specify the plural with suffixes like tachi, the doubling of certain words, and so on. Yeah, kodomo unaccented. So yeah. The rule is right before tachi itself. Yeah, the other example is onna tachi with onna, which means woman. But that one is accented on the last syllable on its own. But yeah, the rule is simply that for tachi. Yeah, so it's Mario and Ko, even though, yeah, we played as Luigi. We have the topic particle wa written as a ha. As for Mario and Ko. Then we have Nibanme. First and foremost, we have Niban. Literally number 2. Of course, it's actually technically a numeral plus counter combination. We'll check. By the way, its accent. I have to take the other dictionary though for that. So let me take it. Okay, got the other dictionary. Ban. Yeah, it's the counter technically for number. Let me find it. It's of Chinese origin. So yeah, you use Chinese numerals, other except for the usual numbers, like yon, for example, for the 4, as mentioned already today also. But yeah, I wanted to... Okay, ban, there it is. And yeah, actually, the rule in general seems to be right before the ban itself, and so before the counter. For example, number 1, ichi ban, on the chi, ni ban. But there are some exceptions, unfortunately, like some ban, number 3, unaccented. Then we go back to the rule, yonban. And then we also have the number 5. As we have seen that often, if there's an unaccented one, the number 5 is the most common one. Maybe because it's so short. Goban, unaccented. And then, yeah, rokuban, nanaban, usually. There's also shichiban, but yeah, more often than not, we use the strictly Japanese number nana instead. Hachiban, kyuban, juban. Yeah, so pretty easy. And yeah, ban, when used as a counter, as that is the counter for numbers. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on. As other meanings on its own, but we'll see them when the time comes. After that, though, we have me. As we have actually seen, because we studied its kanji, it's technically the me on its own accented for I, but when used with as a suffix, with numeral plus counters, in particular certain ones actually, it becomes an ordinal number suffix. I'm curious to see if I can find the accent of it, though. Let me check. But yeah, so it would be the second of something, in this case. So yeah, not number 2, but the second. Let's see if I can find me here in the dictionary. Well, on its own, of course, I'll find it, but yeah, I wanted to find. Okay, not this one. Yeah, it can be used as another suffix, but let's ignore it for now. The most common one, the one that interests us. Okay, it's this one, me. For Junjo, as it says in between brackets. Junjo is a Chinese compound. Okay, I was also correct that it's accent on the first syllable. And yeah, it means order, sequence. And yeah, so that's the meaning in that case. And yeah, as I can see there, actually with several numeral plus counter combinations. And yeah, technically, the most common ones with the ones that have the meaning simply number, or with the general purpose counter, for example, with tsu, hitotsume, first. Yeah, actually can be used also with other counters. Just to make an example, here it's used also with sanbai. As we have seen, high, the one used for cups. Yeah. The counter for cupfuls, bowlfuls, also spoonfuls, technically, according to the dictionary, but yeah, cupfuls usually, or also bowlfuls, of course, considering that we're talking about Japanese, so bowls are quite used. Yeah, in that sense, would be the third cup, the third bowl. Checking to make the ordinal in general, and the accent seems to be always on the me itself. So actually pretty easy in this case. Also consider that the accent of me is accented on its own. Unfortunately, in other cases, in other usages, we can follow that. But yeah, for the ordinal, luckily it's like that. So yeah. When we add me, it's always accented on the me. But yeah, we can continue. By the way, yeah, after that we have a possessive particle. So actually, despite being accented, usually the word on the accent being on me, it would then become a word accented on the final mora. Being that the case, actually should be with the addition of the possessive particle no, it should become an accent because of the rule of no. So yeah, my guess would be that in this case it should be nibanme no, so all unaccented. But yeah, after that we have kokuppa. Again, is simply the Japanese name for the Koopalings. Again, with the ko, it's a prefix in this case, so yeah, with the meaning small, even though I remind you that on its own it can use a different kanji and have the meaning child. This one uses the kanji for small, which we'll see eventually. Although, of course, not in this case. It's a proper name, and it's in katakana, as you can see. Then we have the inclusive particle mo, also even. Yeah. Then we have the verb yatsukete. We have seen it before. Not sure if in this series. I don't think so, actually. It's a compound verb, a peculiar one in its structure, not in its, but yeah, otherwise a regular compound verb. It comes from yaru, which means to do. It's actually a colloquial form of suru, of the verb suru, again, to do. Also a colloquial form of the verb to give, especially of someone of equal or lower status. In this case, although from the meaning to do, we get the extended meanings to harm, to injure, technically also to kill. And yeah, technically it would be a u verb gotten verb, so we would change the u into i to make the continuative form yari, and then add the verb to then add the second verb part of the compound, tsukeru, not the one we have studied, it's the other one, the more common one, accented. which means to attach, to join, to connect, to add, to append, to affix, and so on, to stick, to glue also. So figurative, it would be to add, to attach, to add, we could say harm, injure. And so we get the meaning to beat, to attack an enemy, to do away with, to finish off. So the peculiarity, as we mentioned, that instead of having yari tsukeru, as we should, because most likely of the second verb starting in tsu, deri becomes double the small tsu, doubling the following consonant. Maybe the I fell, and so yar tsukeru, difficult to pronounce, so simply the doubling of the consonants. Who knows? It's like this. Luckily, tsukeru also accented, just like tsukeru. We have seen others that don't follow the accent of the second verb of the compound. Tsukeru and also yatsukeru, ru verb, it's one verb, so we can simply drop the ru to add te. Technically drop the ru, make the continuative form, and then attach te to make the form of the verb. In its usual meaning here, do the action of the verb in te and the rest of the sentence, or you could also say by doing the action of the verb in te while doing the action of the verb in te. We'll see which one is better in translation when we fully translate. After that we have donuts hey ya, again donut planes. Then we have the particle kara, from. By the way, as a reminder, hey ya, hei, so long e. For most, some still pronounce a as a. Hey ya. Then we have the particle kara, from the donut planes. Then we have chika, which is a Chinese compound, actually. Pretty short one. Technically, the E should be barely heard if at all, but in this case, usually the accent should technically be on the first syllable, so on the chi. But considering that, we'll actually check in the physical dictionary, which should tell us. Technically would be a Chinese compound with the accent on the first syllable, first mora in this case, simply. But let's quickly check. Technically it would be chika. If you follow the rule that we move the accent to not keep it on a syllable, on a mora with a vowel barely heard if at all, then it would become chika. So the accent on the ka. But technically there's the variant also that still keeps it there despite that. Cioè, chika, like the one shown also in the online dictionary plus plugin combination. Technically in the physical dictionary it shows first the one on the ka, because it's actually more common. It means underground, below the ground. Underground, I'd say, keep it in mind. Also, by extension, underground with the possessive particle, and so noun plus possessive particle no, in practice an adjective, even though strictly it's a noun plus the possessive particle. And so actually underground also activities, movement. But yeah, the fundamental meaning is underground. And actually the Ka is the one with is the Chinese reading, the most common one for the kanji for down, which we have already studied. Then we have the possessive particle no. So actually here, if you put the accent on the ka, then it would become unaccented, chika no. After that we have sekai. A Chinese compound accent on the first syllable means word. We've actually seen it before. Then we have another possessive particle no to connect it to the following noun. Noun, which is actually a proper name, vanira dom. Yeah, just like in English. Yeah, it's the next word. It's vanilla dom. But yeah, we can check out the accent of the words on their own. Vanilla, of course, vanilla. V changed into B because, yeah, at the time they didn't have V in Japanese, so yeah, usually kept as vanilla. Could be also found with the U, with the duck 10 and a small A. And so actually with the V, but yeah, more often than not you see it actually as vanilla. Yeah, vanilla. Actually the accent is on the ba itself, so yeah, vanilla, as I was saying, so yeah, be careful. And in English should be vanilla, at least as far as I've heard it. Can quickly check. But I have serious doubts that there's my guess is that it's simply Japanese that moved the accent in this case. Let me quickly see. Yeah, it should be vanilla. I guess so. Simply Japanese. Unfortunately, sometimes changing the accent. After that, we have domu. Pretty easy, this one should be the same, unless it becomes unaccented, which I doubt. Yeah, dom. Accented, just like in English. Yeah, so vanilla dom. Then we have eto. First, we have again, written as he, so towards. Then we have the particle to. Technically, the quotation particle, in this case, better with the to used as with the meaning with, not with, and then a quotation. Because that's yeah, most likely that's why to is actually used as the quotation particle in Japanese, because of its meaning with. But yeah, also with, as we've seen, pretty sure we have seen it before also, not sure if in this series, with someone, or used also as and to connect two nouns. To nouns specifically, because yeah, we have seen for verbs we use the forms such as the te form of verbs. Yeah, with. In this case, actually, this eto simply is the meaning is still the same as to, as so towards. Technically, it says also for here in the dictionary, but yeah, more often than not, simply towards. And that to simply adds an emphasis on what follows. Yeah, so simply adds a certain emphasis. And you see it, it actually shows up emphasis on what follows. Yeah, it's actually can be seen from time to time in Japanese, as we can see here. After that, we have Susundeiku from Susumu. Actually, I think unaccented. We've actually seen it in Kirby's Adventure, literally on a sign. And I think it was unaccented there, and yeah, it's unaccented. It means to advance, to go forward. There is a meaning, but yeah, the fundamental one is to advance. It's a verb and verb, so to make that a form, we have to follow the rules. It's in mu, so it becomes de. Again, most likely first, we would change the u into i to make the continuative form, susumi. And then add te, but yeah, then the i fell, most likely. The m remained, so actually became simply the nasal consonant on its own, the n. And that actually affected the ten, which becomes de. With the duck 10, the voiced becomes voiced. But again, it's worth mentioning that in classical Japanese, voiced the ones that nowadays are simply voiced consonants with the duck 10, were actually prenasalized, so were actually pronounced, in this case would be nde. Yeah, that's why we have nde. You can see why then it became n on its own in contemporary Japanese. The form, which is required in this case to add the verb iku. Iku on its own, unaccented, means to go. When used after the form of a verb, more often than not, simply means shows the direction in which the action of the verb happens. And in this case, you advance by going away from where we are, going from this from the this location. Yeah, so simply now we can actually fully translate this part, which was actually the longest one. As for Mario and Co, they defeat in better to since we don't have actually the past form of a verb at the end, but clearly it would be better in this case to keep it. Maybe better to adapt it with by doing the action of the verb. But yeah, I'd say that then. So as for Mario and Co, by defeating the by beating the second also the second Koopalin, the inclusive particle, they advance by going, yeah, so with the iku, by going from here. Can also be, by the way, the teiku form of a verb, and could be actually this case figurative go, and so actually with a temporal meaning. So I do the action of that, the action of the verb starts now and then goes, continues on, starts from this point onward. And honestly, could be also in this case then, although being a verb of movement, maybe let's simply keep it as the physical meaning. Yeah, advance again with the direction being from here to another place. Advance towards, from the donut plains towards the underground world of Vanilla Dome. Well, technically, towards Vanilla Dome, the underground world. Okay, we can continue. Konosaki, Konosaki, donna wana ga machikamaete iru ka? Question mark. First and foremost, we have Kono of the Koso Ado series, Ko close to both the speaker and the listener, so far from the speaker close to the listener, A far from both, Do the interrogative, Koso A usually unaccented, Do accent on the Do itself. With the no, we get the demonstrative adjective, so these or these, depending on if we have a singular or plural meaning after it. In this case, simply this, I'd say. But yeah, the adjective, so this, something. Something which is actually saki, which we've already seen. Literally point, but yeah, more often than not, with the meaning ahead. So yeah, literally this ahead. So yeah, it becomes actually, simply we can keep the meaning ahead, or better, beyond this point. But also in instead of a physical meaning, so the location, we have a temporal one. So yeah, beyond this point, in a temporal sense, so from now on, after this, in the future, you often see it with that meaning. Technically, here could be both. I'm inclined to say keep it as beyond this point with physical meaning, concrete meaning. So yeah, beyond this point ahead, even though both could apply. Then we have donna, again from the Kosodo series, with na. It's actually a contraction of dono yona. Literally, what sort, what kind. Because yeah, we would have konoyo, this sort, kind, and so on. Dono yo na, notice the na, which because yeah, dono yo and all these other expressions are na adjectives. And yeah, then when you add the na, then they actually got contracted and became donna. Dono yo accent on the do, as usual. Should be the same for donna. I wanted to quickly check though for the other words of this kind. Funny enough, considering the meaning. Donna, of course, accented still on the do. Yeah, I think that konna. Okay, no, that's still unaccented, so perfect. Yeah, konna, this kind of. But yeah, in our case, so what kind of, and then we have wana, here written in katakana. Technically should usually be written in hiragana, since it's a strictly Japanese word. Maybe they put it in katakana for emphasis then. again, that's one of the usages of katakana, just like italics or bold in English. But yeah, wana means trap. Actually, accent on the first syllable, so wana. Yeah, trap in general. Yeah, a trap for catching animals, but yeah, trap as in a trick, ruse. But yeah, trap, fundamental meaning trap. Then we have the subject particle ga. And then we have the verb machikamaete. So yeah, from machikamaeru. Yeah, actually, it's present in the dictionary. It comes from matsu, on its own accented. Means to wait, or also to await. Accented, it's a verb, codon verb, so we can change the u into i to make the continuative form. In this case, to then attach the second verb part of the compound, which is kamaeru. We've actually seen it before with the meaning to technically to set up, both literally to set up a house, a store, to be to establish, to run, to maintain. More often than not, we have seen it, for example, in Pokemon Snap, with the meaning to have at the ready, to, for example, again, to hold in preparation a camera, because of that, of course, in that game, to prepare in advance. For example, a meal. Also, by extension, also to adopt a posture, to assume a stance, to stand ready. Actually, more could be that that's the fundamental meaning. But yeah, in general, you stand or have at the ready. Yeah. Technically, to assume a stance. So yeah, and from there you get all those meanings we mentioned. But yeah, so machikamaeru. Kamaeru, by the way, I don't think I mentioned accented. Lucky also machikamaeru accented, just like kamaeru on its own. Means, yeah, we have to wait and then to stand, to stand ready. So yeah, the meaning becomes to lie in wait, to be on the watch for. But yeah, in this case, simply to wait for, technically. Yeah, in our case, what kinds of traps wait, lie in wait, technically. Kamaeru, and also, so machikamaeru are ru verbs, ichidan verbs, so we can simply drop the ru to add te, so yeah, make the continuative form and then add te. Te form, which is required in this case because then we have the verb iru on its own, unaccented, means to be as in to exist, with animate objects, so actually people and animals. But when used after the form of a verb, it becomes an auxiliary verb with the meanings to make the continuing action or state of the verb. So yeah, to be doing the action of the verb, or to have add that verb. Technically, well, in this case, in translation, simply we can use be and the ing form most likely. Okay, last but not least, we have the ka, the interrogative particle, and yeah, that on its own would be enough. And of course, you would also get then the rising intonation. But yeah, we also have straight up the interrogative mark as well here to make it completely clear. But yeah, so ahead or from now on for Konosuke, what kinds of traps are lying in wait, are waiting, implied for our heroes, for Mario and Co. And yeah, after that we have the final part. Pichi hime no unmei ya ika ni? First and foremost, we have of course Peach, as in the character. On its own, of course, would be the word peach from English, accented. Hime, well, actually, hime should be, if I recall correctly, accented on its own. Yeah, accent on the first syllable. Hime. Yeah, would be technically young lady of noble birth, and yeah, then it becomes the classical princess for the classical Western princess. I think we have. I've tried to find the accent of hime as a suffix, and if I recall correctly, we mentioned it could be before the hime itself. But unfortunately, we can't confirm it for this, of course. Let me quickly still check if that was the supposed rule. Okay. Hime. Okay, found it. Yeah, there are other ones, unaccented ones, but yeah, most likely then it would be either unaccented or accented. Unaccented or accented before hime. So yeah, most likely accented before hime in this case, but we can't verify it. Then we have the possessive particle no. Then we have unme. Chinese compound. Let's check its accent, but it means destiny, fate, destiny. But yeah. Accented on the first syllable, okay. Yeah, unme. Then we have this ya, which I'm not completely sure in this case because, yeah, the most common usage for a ya would be as a particle with such things as or and. Yeah, used for non-exhaustive lists. But we'll see in a second. And yeah, because after that we have ika ni. Ika ni means, well, with the ni, you can tell it's there because it becomes an adverb. Ni is the particle used for adverbs, as we have seen, one of the particles used for adverbs. The accent of ikani would be on the ka. And by the way, as you will see if it were written in kanji, it's related to ikaga. which we mentioned, it's a more formal way to say how, in what way, how about. Again, with ikani, we get this adverb, which means how, in what way again. Also, how much, to what extent. Can also mean however much, no matter how. Usually in the structure ikani and then amo. But yeah, considering that, I wonder then, that's exactly why I wondered about the usage of that yeah. We've seen some weird usages of it, because yeah, it can also be the copula, but that's in Kansai dialect, which can show up, but I don't think that's the case here. Maybe it's that o technically actually from used actually in poetry usually, but I could be honestly, the safest guess would be keep it as such things as Peach's fate, and then that ikani, and as in how about it. So yeah, my guess would be simply as for things as Peach's fate. Yeah. How about it? As in, what will be? What will it be of Peach's fate? Yeah, to honestly, in general, seems to be simply to give some suspense here. Oh yeah, with that, we unlock that. And yeah, we would technically get here in Vanilla Dome. I quickly press actually save and continue, because actually next time we won't start from here, because as you might remember, we there's a certain something here in Donut Plains that we didn't play, which is this. You might guess why, if I played this game before, why I kept this for after finishing the world, other than to finish it today. But yeah. So I'll actually save here. Save and end. I'll quickly show our progress. And yeah, as you can see here, we played a lot of levels. Actually, it says World 2, potentially just because I actually came back here to World 2, but honestly, we'll keep it like that, since honestly, we should still play that first and foremost. Oh yeah, we can close the game then. And yes, so today we first and foremost studied the kanji we found last time, the one for to enter, and then we continued World 2. We played most of it, as you have seen, technically all of it except for the Star Road at the end. But yeah, we finished, technically completed actually, played all its proper levels. We also had enough time to check out the story after the castle. And yes, so next time, which should be on Wednesday, unless plans change, we'll continue playing Super Mario World, as in Super Mario Advance 2. And yeah, we actually start with the Star Road from Donut Plains. We check the name seen there. And yeah, play that. And then actually start the third world after that. And yeah. See you next time.